Hey guys, Jonah here. It is me, believe it or not. I have cut the beard to some degree anyway. I've trimmed it pretty severely actually, but it was getting really sunny here. And then last couple of days, absolutely blooming freezing. Anyway, I am back at you with another beer review, and it is another beer from the Yorkshire box from Beer 52. This is an interesting beer because last night I was out in the Weatherspoons and I've been searching for it for a while, but I had another beer by this very brewery. It is Roosters, so I thought definitely do this one today. Apparently, even though they did, uh, apparently the original Old Boy had a brewery that didn't do so well called Franklin's, um, and that was back in the 80s. But he then set up the Roosters Brewery in '93, and then It started off really small, and then it kind of grew and grew, and it got some back in the noughties, got some finance and all that kind of stuff, and is now. I mean, they're in the 90s, 93, and it's 23 now, 30 years old. So that's not bad at all. And the beer, I had it, I've turned the page, is this one here. It is called Echo Chamber, Roosters Brewing, Harrogate, or just north of Harrogate, actually. And it's a DDH double dry hopped pale ale at 4.5%. Look at that. That's ridiculous. So you got a ridiculous hoppy floral fruit. Looks a bit like a rooster, the old spider diagram, which is kind of cool. Anyway, hops in there: Amarillo, Azaka, Kashmir, Eldorado, and Idaho 7. So it's going to be a ridiculous mishmash of everything. And it says a modern hazy pale ale brewed with soft Yorkshire water, low-collar malts and Roosters house yeast, tropical and stone fruit combine with floral notes, mouthful of soft, full stone fruit flavors with a bit of a citrus kick and a bit of bitterness on the finish. Double dry hop, DDH, basically means it's going to be a hoppy bad boy, but not necessarily bitter, because dry hop is hops added either very late, whirlpooling, or actually a proper dry hop is you add it to a secondary tank or use the original tank and add it after the first fermentation has finished. Anyway, there is the can. Echo Chamber, as usual. We're not focusing on the can. There we go. Roosters Brewing, Echo Chamber, DDH, Pale Ale. Got lots of nonsense over there, but this is probably the interesting stuff, I guess. Hazy hop forward. There's the hops. Oh, there we go. So it's hopped with Amarillo, Azaka, Kashmir, Eldorado, and Idaho 7 in the boil and the whirlpool and all that nonsense. Then it's dry hopped with Amarillo and then more Kashmir. Yeah, crazy. Vegan friendly. Look them up. They've won awards and all sorts. And what was the one I had last night? Blackjack, I think it was called. And it wasn't too bad. Even though some people don't like the way Wetherspoons handle their beer, this one I thought was kept really well. Weirdly enough, one of the Wetherspoons that's local to me keeps their beer really, really well, but doesn't have that many beers on. And the other one, as I keep saying, it's the largest one in the country, and sometimes it's a bit hit or miss. Right, look at that head, that's ridiculous. So go out that way, you go out there, I look in the middle and make a cheesy face. Or maybe my face is just cheesy. But yeah, Jesus, look at that. It's ridiculous. 2 fingers of fluffy white goodness. I don't know if it's going to focus on there. Oh, there we go. But yeah, ridiculously large bubbles for a change. So that head probably won't hang around for that long. I wonder what the malt bill has. Has it got? Didn't really mention. Oh, it has wheat and oats in there. Always a good sign. Well, for me anyway. So we will see. That head might. It's got a chance of sticking around a bit longer than normal, but yeah, crazy. Anyway, look at this hazy bad boy. Really, really kind of hazy. Not surprised with a bit of wheat in there and oats. Should give a creaminess to the finish. Let's see what we get. Interesting. It is quite fruity. A little bit orangey too. So maybe that's the Amarillo. But there's loads of stuff going on here. Hmm. A little bit of yeastiness going on. So it says they use their house yeast, but I'm not sure. Is it a Belgium derived yeast? It's hard to tell really. But cheers and beers to you all. We will see what we get from this bad boy. Oh, no, it is quite bitter. And there's a lot of zesty. Wow. Yeah, a lot of zestiness there right up front. Then it descends into a little peel. Yeah, a little bit of bitterness that's hanging around. There is creaminess there too, no doubt from the yeast, from the yeast, from the wheat and the oats. But that zestiness is full on, and it kind of floats between kind of orange and lemon kind of zest. But it's a bit, yeah, a bit too much for me. Wow, that was like I wasn't expecting that. I have to say, pardon me, especially because this is a pale ale, not an IPA. Um, Kind of like mimicking a little bit a sort of. I mean, it's weird. Is it bitterness from the hops, or is it bitterness from the hops in the boil, or bitterness from the addition of a ridiculous amount of dry hops, which I think this has. Oh, yeah, a bit of juiciness there, but it's so like zesty up front. It's weird. It's like if you had a real high IBU beer, but um, backed it off a little bit. I can't believe they're not selling this as an IPA, but hey, who knows? Um, and what did it say? It was 4.5, wasn't it? 4.5%, which is really light, really, when you think about it. Under 5, wow. And it's kind of doing weird things to my teeth as well. Mm, Not that I'm like, I've got the best teeth. As you can see, I probably should floss more and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, getting some weird interactions. Yeah. Oh, so this is the Echo Chamber, double dry hop pale ale by Rooster Brewing. And yeah, I'm not sure. It's not really my taste. However, I could see people that are used to drinking IPAs want something a tiny bit lighter, or potentially people that drink lager a lot, because it does have that kind of lager thing going on, the pale ale, but it's a lot hoppier than that. So your lager guys might like this purely because of the bitterness level. Um, which is weird to say because lagers are usually really clear, really crisp. And this one isn't, but it's just got that insane amount of zestiness up front. Oh, and that is me done with the Rooster. Oh, the Rooster. Remember that, Alice in Chains? That was in the 90s as well. Um, it's been Uncle Jonah here, drinking Yorkshire beer, so you guys don't have to. As I say, I was out last night. I'm back tonight, so that means I might be out again tomorrow night. So don't know if I'll upload tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If I do, fantastic. And then Thursday night, weirdly enough, I'm going to a Daya brew thing at one of the local pubs down in Ramsgate. So there's going to be Daya stuff all over the shop. Ooh, wow, that was a lot fizzier than I thought. Um, so if you are about in East Kent, why don't you get yourself down to the Ravensgate Arms on Thursday night and drink some ridiculous Daya beer? They're doing a tap takeover. Wow, that was only five, 4.5 even, and I've lost the plot. I think it's the zestiness. It's made my mouth go all right, zingy and stuff, and maybe my teeth will fall out or something. Anyway, guys, you take care of yourselves. We'll be back with more beer reviews real soon, and yeah, I'm going to be down the spoons at some point this week.